What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another ride in our nation's capital. This is the world-famous Noon Ride, aka the Nooner, aka Hains Point Fight Club. Now, we all know rule number one of Fight Club, but we're going to talk about it anyway today. Before I begin, though, there is another new channel. It's called Bikes and Snacks that just uploaded a dope new video with the whole rundown on what this ride is exactly. A regular at the ride, Ryan, he runs the channel. His editing is very legit. Link to that video and his channel in the description. As for me, this was the first time I had done the full hour for this ride in a long time. But now that I'm double vaccinated, I'm training for crits, I figured it was time to get back down here. And it was a beautiful day today, lovely weather. But, per usual, there was some crosswinds today, and this resulted in some guttering. Did I participate in some of that? Yes, I did. I got a little shit for it from one of the elder statesmen of the ride, so apologies if my etiquette wasn't exactly up to snuff. I'm kind of a rookie out here, so thanks to the folks who were nice and helpful. Now, my original intent for the ride was just to sit in and see if I could hold on, but I ended up feeling pretty good, so I decided to mix it up a bit when I had the chance. So, here we go. This first lap is basically a neutral lap, and I was just sitting on the front for the whole thing, so that's why we're fast forwarding through this, and we will get until right up until where the speed starts to ramp up. Right off the rip, right on cue, the attacks begin. A few people go off the front, so yeah. I'm not chasing that. Like I said, at this point, I'm still thinking about, I'm sitting in. So I'm going to let everybody fill in, see if they can close that, stitch it all back together. I think some folks do kind of get off the front for a little bit here, but they do ultimately get brought back. Right now, this is like a cross tailwind that's coming over our right shoulders, but we're about to hit the point and switch around to the other direction. So the move that guy just made there on the left, I thought was pretty good, but he gets brought back ultimately too. I mean, this is the first lap, so folks are pretty keen. So as we're catching some of those riders who went off the front, and now the wind is coming in our face and slightly from the left, folks are starting to launch some more tacks and guttering it, as you can see. So here I am, just trying to make sure that I stay with this group because it's getting splintered a little bit. Around to the end of the first lap, and it's all brought back together. So everybody that was off the front is now back in the group. This here that we're rolling into, this is another kind of neutral section. So people drink water, it tends to slow down a little bit, and we still have kind of a tailwind here since the wind was coming in from the northwest. And at this point, I'm still thinking I'm sitting in, but I'm feeling pretty good. It has only been the first lap, but I feel pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging and I'm having fun. Now I'm sitting towards the back of the group here, and we're going through this chicane. This is a place where folks have a tendency to get popped off. You can see I'm hitting 750 watts and just trying to stay on this guy's wheel here. And he helped me out a little bit in this, try to pull me up to the front, maybe pull me off the front, and help me make sure that I got the rotation right when we were on this side, on the leeward side of Hains Point here. So kudos to this guy, thank you. But I'm looking up and I see one guy who I know is a real strong rider is hitting it, and somebody's following. And I just felt like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go and see if I can get in with these guys here. So 700 watts, 600 watts. I mean, they're getting it pretty good. We got a big gap. I'm kind of in no man's land, so I'm just determined to catch these guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to ride the brake here for 5 laps, but I figured, why don't I just get up there and see if I can help, see how long I can hang on, and maybe help get this guy off the front a little further. So I come up behind him, I go ahead and I pull right past it. I dip down a little bit so he can get on my wheel. And same with this next guy. In hindsight, I guess I probably should have rolled off a little bit more than I did. And maybe could have helped them a little bit more. But yeah, this was fun. So it looks like we're dropping one guy at this point, and you can look at my heart rate. It's 185, which, for the record, my heart rate goes up to like 205 beats per minute. So this is very high, but I do have a little bit more. That said, I'm starting to feel it already. I'm starting to worry, really right now, about just getting dropped in the ride totally if I keep this up. And a little bit further up the road, I tell Josh here, I think is his name, from Valley Harley Davidson, that I'm probably going to go back to the group, but that I'd give him a pull one more time. So yeah, 189, just chilling at like my FDP in the draft after doing 400 or 500 watts. And yeah, we're back in the headwind section here, so but we still have a pretty good gap. Hitting the neutral zone of the second lap here, and I wave Josh on, tell him I'm pulling the plug. So he goes right ahead, and I'm kind of sitting up, not totally sitting up. I don't want to have the group behind me just like blow by. So I keep my cadence high, and I'm sitting 230, 240, 250 watts. and I'm just waiting for the group to catch up to me. So here I am, just a little further up the road. I'm on the next lap, and the group still has not caught me. But here comes Andres. He does, so I decided I'm gonna jump on his wheel, feeling a little bit more rested. And he pulls through, and then we start trading a little bit. And again, I'm still thinking I'm gonna go back to the group eventually here, but maybe I can help get Andres up to Josh's wheel. So that's what we start trading off on. So at this point, I pull the plug again, send Andres on his way, and I'm going to wait for the main group to catch me, because my heart rate is 192. Before the end of this lap, I'm finally caught, and I'm gonna slot back in and rest. And I guess I'm gonna play for the sprint. Is what I'm thinking at this point, even if it's not with the leaders. I'm just out here training for racing and learning, and trying to make friends and have fun riding my bike. So for me, that's what this is all about. I get to mix it up in the break for a little while. If I pop, that's fine. If I can contest the sprint at the end, that's great too. I'm just trying to get some different experiences that I can use in racing later on. So yeah, I look at this as a training tool, and just something fun to do on an afternoon on my lunch break. So we're kind of just putzing around on the leeward side, and I'm on the front again. And this scary bit kind of happens. This guy hits his brakes. You got a bike going the wrong way. Everybody's yelling at that guy. So yeah, I got a little hairy there for a second. And then your boy over here tells me to hop on since we got a little gap. And I did. But I don't think this really went anywhere. We got caught. They were on our way anyway. So, the group stays together for pretty much the rest of that lap, and going into the next one. And here we are, we're going through the chicane again. Me and this one guy we had a little bit of a gap that truck slowed us down. So the field's catching us, and I find myself on the front again on the leeward side. And this is where, in a minute here, one guy kind of gives me a little bit of gruff about guttering it. So I'm on the front, and I'm waiting for somebody else to come around. So I just gutter it, and I sit there and do 400 watts, 300 watts, and I'm setting a good pace. But these guys can come around me, and I'm being safe. I'm not taking anybody over any manhole covers. I'm signaling to people behind me if there's folks coming at us, and then they should move over. So, I didn't think anything was risky here at all. I mean, folks didn't like the tempo that I was setting, and they wanted to move over to the right side of the road and create a draft. Well, they were welcome to do so. So, anyway, this is the second to last lap. So, this is where it starts to get a little bit of a sketchy and unfortunate situation for some people right here. This Batley guy in front of me, he's about to gutter it and line it out. I think mainly just to sort of line up his buddy to break away for the final laps. Again, this is the second to last. So I had seen him coming up, and I got up out of the saddle and I was ready to jump on his wheel. So he rips it down here with the headwind, and it's not really guttered. I mean, frankly, some of it he does, but I guess a couple of guys were behind us, and they got their wheels cracked, and really bad stuff happened. These manhole covers are pretty brutal, and but yeah, he pretty much does the whole lap, and in a minute here, you're going to see when his buddy Josh comes around. I just definitely do not have to follow that at all. So I ride along all the way to the end here, and then these guys go on ahead. I just let them fly. So, I see that and I think, I'm real tired. I think I'll go home now. Yet again, I'm thinking I'm gonna let the group catch up, and if there's a sprint for me to have on the last lap, that's what I'm gonna do. Those guys are gone. So right here we had a little bit of confusion about, which way the rotation was supposed to go because of the wind. I think I was partially to blame for that. So again, my apologies for my rookie status. But thanks to this Kelly rider again for coaching me along. I appreciate it. I'm like, okay, it's the last lap. I've done plenty of work on the front. I've been off the front. I'm just gonna roll in here to the finish, and if there's a sprint to have, then I'll have it. But there's a little bit of attacks, people fighting for position, so we get gapped a little bit here. And once again, this Kelly guy, he does a lot of work in the tailwind here to try to get us back up. And then I finish this bridge effort once we get into the wind. honest. I have no idea where I am in relation to everybody else in the field. There's guys up the road, there's guys off the back. But I know this is the last lap, so I'm just gonna sprint it out and see what I can do. So again, this Batley guy, he goes, kind of early. Jump on the Kelly guy's wheel, and I go after him. I'm not gonna catch this guy. So I get out of the saddle for a second, I sit down and go again, and then when I get to this sign, I get up and give it a double sprint, just to blow the legs out of the finish. And yeah, and that's about it. So I gotta say I had a lot of fun out there today. Made some mistakes, probably pissed a couple people off, but everything's a learning experience. And I'll be back again probably next week. So let me know what you think of this. Tell me what you think I did wrong. What do you think I did right? How do you think I could do better in the future? And not just in terms of the riding, but the filming, the editing, and let me know your crazy experiences at Hains Point. That's it. Join me on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you around.